Welcome to the OLV Daily Reflection for Tuesday, December 29th. The first reading for today's Mass for the fifth day of the Christmas octave comes to us from the second chapter of the first letter of St. John. It reads, Beloved, the way we may be sure that we know Jesus is to keep his commandments. Whoever says, I know him, but does not keep his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him. But whoever keeps his word, the love of God is truly perfected in him. This is the way we may know that we are in union with him. Whoever claims to abide in him ought to walk just as he walked. Beloved, I am writing no new commandment to you, but an old commandment that you had from the beginning. The old commandment is the word that you have heard. And yet I do write a new commandment to you, which holds true in him and among you. For the darkness is passing away, and the true light is already shining. Whoever says he is in the light, yet hates his brother, is still in the darkness. Whoever loves his brother remains in the light, and there is nothing in him to cause a fall. Whoever hates his brother is in darkness. He walks in darkness, and does not know where he is going, because the darkness has blinded his eyes. The new commandment mentioned in the selection from St. John's first letter is challenging. He calls us to eliminate any hate in our lives that we might have towards others. And St. John, in his condemnation of any form of hatred in word, deed, or thought, is just his way of emphasizing the teachings of Jesus Christ found in the gospel. And St. John undoubtedly is making this emphasis in the letter because there was a problem in the community he was writing. And this makes sense because all of us in our lives have experienced how hate can destroy relationships. So St. John was trying to address a problem that existed at that time. But history has shown that time and time again, communities, countries, and even the world can be torn apart by hate. And I had a powerful experience about hate and the understanding of how it affects people's lives through a meeting I attended 3 years ago. There was a meeting of ministers in Davenport, and we all came from different Christian denominations. We'd gathered to talk about a specific issue facing the community, but the conversation eventually turned towards the existence of hate in people's hearts and minds. And one by one, the different ministers started telling their personal experiences of being on the receiving end of hate, either because of their faith, the color of their skin, or simply because they were at the wrong place at the wrong time. After this time of sharing in the meeting, one member of the group decided that we need to pray for those who are experiencing hates in their hearts this day. That we all needed to pray for the conversion of those who struggle with hate, but also for each of us, that we as ministers truly could be examples of Jesus Christ in our thoughts, our words, and our deeds. Again, this was a powerful experience. The world is filled with hate, and even, again, ministers, those who represent Christ, were still on the receiving end of so much sinfulness. So if we as clergy experience this reality, I know many of you experience this reality in your lives, in your communities, and we need to commit to eliminate it. So St. John's commandment is truly a good reminder of the consequences that hate can bring into people's lives. And we know what the solution is, though, too. We know that hate exists, but again, the solutions are very clear. We have to forgive, we have to care for each other, and we have to love. And I know at times it's not easy to forgive. I also know at times it's not easy to care for each other, and it's definitely not easy to love. But Jesus Christ, through his words and actions, shows us how we're called to forgive, care, and love each other. Therefore, each of us has a choice. Through God's grace, We can follow Jesus Christ, eliminate hate in our hearts, in our communities, by forgiving, caring, and loving each other. Or we can reject God's grace and continue down some of the sinful paths that we are walking right now. So my prayer during this Christmas octave, but also as we move towards a new year, is that we can be children of the light, disciples of Jesus Christ, who truly are examples of forgiveness, of care, and love. And if we can do that, brothers and sisters, we can truly change this world and make Christ's light shine more brightly in a world that desperately needs it. Our Lady of Victory, pray for us.